Most businesses have a trust problem, and what happens is people land on their page, they read their offer, they read what they're selling, and they hesitate to buy. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 authority tactics that make people trust you faster with real examples that increased clicks, leads, and conversions. Okay, so what is authority, first of all? When people feel uncertain, their brain looks for shortcuts to decide who to trust. And one of the strongest shortcuts is authority. So if someone looks like an expert and they sound like an expert, or they're endorsed by a credible organization, we automatically trust them more. One of the most famous studies showing this is the Milgram experiment. And in this study, volunteers were told to administer electric shocks to somebody in another room every time they answered a question incorrectly. And the shocks weren't real, but the volunteers believed they were. And here's the shocking part. 65% of people continued all the way to maximum voltage simply because a man in a lab coat told them to continue. And the takeaway is uncomfortable, to be honest with you, but it's a powerful truth of how humans operate. Authority dramatically influences behavior. In business, we obviously aren't shocking people, but the same psychological shortcut still exists. When a customer feels uncertain, they look for signals that tell them this person knows what they're doing. And so, how do you get this into your business? The first authority tactic is expert framing. So, for example, in one campaign that I ran for an organization, we sent out a SMS which said, "Our advisors can help." And that at the moment doesn't really have any type of authority in it. But what we did is we went back to that SMS and we reviewed the text message through the lens of how can we add authority to this. And so we changed the text message to "Our expert advisors can help." And that tiny change actually increased click-through rates by 4%. Just that tiny change. And 4% might not seem like a large number, but if you keep in mind that that text message, that SMS, is being sent to thousands and thousands of people, the difference becomes huge over time. And the reason this works is simple. Advisor sounds helpful, but expert advisor actually signals authority. And when people feel uncertain, authority reduces their hesitation. So instead of saying "our team can help," if you are, sending some sort of email or SMS or communications like that, you try instead "our expert team can help," because it adds that little bit of authority in. Or you can highlight credentials, years of experience, or perhaps specialization or something like that, which adds a bit of weight to what you're saying and helps people trust you. The second tactic is borrowing authority from trusted organizations. So, a company called Umbraco, who's a software company, tested adding authority badges to their website. And they added things like market leader, high performer, and awards and industry recognition. And simply adding these signals increased leads by 5.3%. And when people see trusted organizations or awards attached to a brand, it reduces perceived risk. It's no longer just saying that you're good, it's other credible organizations confirming it as well. So it helps people think, you know what? They actually probably are good. So look for ways to show industry certifications, awards, media mentions, recognized partnerships, or regulatory approval, or things like this. All of these instantly increase perceived authority. The third tactic is using recognizable brands as authority signals. So one marketing website originally showed testimonials with photos of the customers, and that's not bad, to be honest with you. But there's a better way to do this for a company who's not recognized. And when you actually looked at the testimonials, those customers worked for huge companies like Visa and Hewlett Packard as well. So instead of showing the person's face, they switched to showing the company logos. And that simple change actually doubled click-through rates on the page. Now, why? Because most people don't recognize a stranger's face, but they instantly recognize a trusted brand. If you think about tiers to it, the first tier is not having anything there. The second tier is having testimonials there. And it's good to have a person's face, and that's what psychology points to. But if there's something else you can use. If these people work for trusted brands already that will instantly be recognized, then put those there, because that's even more powerful. And if your clients include well-known companies, show those logos. So brand authority actually carries more weight than individual testimonials. So just to quickly recap the authority tactics: first, expert framing. You've got to highlight expertise clearly. If you have expertise, make sure you highlight it. Tell people you are an expert in this area. It increases click-through. Second, you've got to borrow authority. So show rewards, certifications, and recognition. And third, use recognizable brands, logos, trusted organizations, and they instantly build trust and credibility. Now, when people feel uncertain, authority helps them move from hesitation all the way to trust as well. But now people trust you and they understand what you're trying to sell. The next step is, how do you get them to take action? And I've got a video which covers exactly that, and it's about the principles of scarcity and urgency and how you can apply those to your business right now. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it right here on the page for you to click. Take care.